Welcome back to Your Arts and thanks for joining me. Here are 6 more scoring patterns to add to your repertoire. So I think it's only fair to do a quick recap at the start of these scoring videos just to get everyone on track. So spin on to the next slide if you're a previous watcher and you don't want to just recap, even though recapping is never a bad idea. So for anyone who's new to these videos, I'm trying to teach you what I can do. It's quite hard to teach over a skill when you know a skill, you're trying to break it down. So I've done it in a kind of methodical way. We started with learning what I like to call the core 4. And these are the 4 most common numbers that most people aim for. Of course, we don't always hit them, but you've got to start somewhere, okay? You've got to learn the 20s, the 19s, the 18s, and the 17s, okay? You've got to learn 1 all the way through to 9 of the number. But the minimum expectation that I have is know the values of a board. If you're trying to learn how to score, you've got to know the values of a board, of the dartboard, right? You need to know what this inner ring, the treble rings are, and this outer ring, the double rings, okay? So you should know 1. Obviously, you know 1 of the number. You know what 119 is, right? And you should know what 2 and 3 is. So really, when you're practicing 4 through to 9 of the number. So that's straight away, that's 6. We've carved that down from 1 to 9 all the way from 4 to 9. So you only have to learn 6 values of each of these numbers and really absolutely know it and absolutely picture the finish. That's the best thing I can recommend. Let me just get rid of that. Okay, so when you have like 4 19s, picture it as treble 19 and 1 in the treble 19 and 1 in the single 19. That's 4 19s. That's how you're going to see on a score, and you need to know that straight away, instantly. That's 76. Okay, so we went through them. I'm not going to go through them now, but go watch my other videos. But we covered 20, 18, 19 and 17, and then we started to add some single digit scores. Okay, get rid of that now, neaten it up a little bit. Single digit scores like single 20, single 18, single 19, which is 57. Okay, and other things like start adding some trebles values into there. You need to instantly know things like treble 20 and treble 19. Well, that's 117. Okay, and I showed you how I remember that, because as long as you know the treble values, again, this is this minimum expectation I have for people. Treble 19 is 57. Well, we know that treble 20 is 60 and treble 19 is 57, so it's going to be over 110. And I just remember, this is how I teach it. To know what it's going to be, I steal that last digit, so 7. Okay, it's going to be 117. Okay, anyway, so I've been through this anyway, so please go watch that. But then we did other scores, and we just add into our mental Rolodex. Okay, we want our comfort zone to expand. What I mean by that, wrong button. What I mean by that is when we're seeing the 20, unless you're absolutely brand new to the game, if you're seeing scores on the 20s and you see a treble 20 and you see a single 20 and a single 20, you just know that's 100, right? If you're not at that stage yet, you'll get there, but if most people are going to be at that stage, okay, you just know it. You don't need to add it up. You just know these common scores, and if you can start to expand that to other areas of the board, you're going to become very good at marking. Okay, so moving on from this now, let's get into 6 of some of the most favorite and some of the most common scores you will see. Now, when I say that, it's with a pinch of salt here, simply because when you're scoring there's all different kinds of levels of people you'll score for, and people who aren't very good will start hitting all kinds of like treble 7s and 3s and all sorts of things. And we'll deal with that another time. Sometimes you have to just jump in and swim on these things when you're scoring for people, but you still need to know the scores that I've already shown you and that I'm going to show you today. So let's get to that right now. So how do I start by teaching this? So this is going to be 1 treble and 2 singles. Okay, it's going to happen a lot. And we won't need 1. There's only 3 here. Okay, so don't need that one. So the totals start from 97, then you skip 2 and it's 95, then you skip 2 and it's 93. Okay, that's a place to start. Now start with, so the largest number, 97. Just trying to show you, it's quite hard to teach people these things, but start with 97, the larger number, and it's going to be, now we're just going to be concentrating, it's probably worth saying, we're not going to be covering the 17s in this video today. Okay, we will get into that probably next video. We're just going to be doing the 3 of the core 4, the 20s, the 19s and the 18s. Okay, so remember, this is 1 treble and 2 singles. Okay, and 97 is 1 treble 20, then a single 19 and a single 18. Okay, that's 97. 95, so to remember this, I'll go down from 20, 19 and 18, the 3 of the core 4, right? I start with the next biggest number, the 19, so it's going to be treble 19, single 20, single 18. That's 95. And then we're finishing with 93, so we go to the lowest number of this, the last one, the 18, so it's treble 18, single 20 and a single 19, and that's 93. And that's how I practice it. I picture the 97. I know it's going from 97, 95 and 93, and I know I'm dealing with 20, 19 and 18. I'm not dealing with 17 of these numbers, so I just see the bigger number starts with the big treble, treble 20, single 19, single 18, 97, and then 95 to the next big number, treble 19, single 20, single 18 is 95, and then to the last one, or the next big number, treble 18, single 20, single 19 is 93. Okay, so that's how again, it's really hard to teach people these things, how I've gone about learning them, but that's my take on it. If that doesn't make sense, just literally parrot fashion wise learn it. 97 is treble 20, single 18, single 19. Just do it like that. I'll talk a little bit more about how to practice it, or just recapping really, but those are the first 3 numbers of the day. Common score patterns that I want you to finally get. I don't want you to be adding up in a perfect world. I want you to see them and just know them. This is what you're going to do when you practice it. If you picture the actual the score, and you actually know what it is, it's just going to be like when you're picturing the scores in the 20, and that's your comfort zone. It's all about expanding your comfort zone. So on to the next 3 numbers, and they're big numbers here because we're going to be using 2. We're going to be using 2 trebles and 1 single. Okay, now the finish, again, we won't need this one here. The finishes are 1 3 5, 1 3 3, and 1 3 1. Okay, and we're not on the 17, so we can scrub out the 17s. We're just on the 20s, the 19s and the 18s. Commonly, the most common 3 numbers really. 17 is important to know, but it's not as common as going for 20s, 19s and 18s. So we might as well concentrate on the what am I doing here? Okay, that's not going to include that. We might as well concentrate on the common numbers. Okay, so 1 3 5. I remember this because it's the first 2 biggest numbers, so the 20s and the 19s, and it's the 2 trebles. Remember 2 trebles here. So treble 20, treble 19, and single 18 is 1 3 5. Okay, 1 3 3. I go to the next, because I can't use treble 20. I'm using treble 20 again. I can't use treble 19, so I go to the next big number. So it's treble 20, treble 18, and single 19. You're going to see that as well, and that's 1 3 3. And then you probably guess it. Okay, so 1 3 3. Just highlight that, and then the final one, 1 3 1. Okay, it's the ones we haven't done, so it's treble 19, treble 18, and single 20 is 131. Okay, so these are the ways I picture it. These are ways my brain remembers these pictures or patterns or whatever you want to call them, but the scores. Okay, and I just see 135. I'm using the two big trebles, treble 20, treble 19, single 18. 133, treble 20, treble 18 for single 19, and 131, treble 19, treble 18, single 20. And that's how I picture it when in my mind's eye when I'm practicing. Okay, so those are the last three scores of the day. Common scores that you're going to see possibly when you're scoring for more of a better player, but you do need to know them because they will happen a lot. So some of this will be repetitive when I go through how to practice, but it's not bad, just repeating these things to help you go in. So when I do the core 4, the 20s, the 18s and the 19s and the 17s, I start from 4 all the way through to 9 of the number. I'll just be in the shower washing my hair, or I'll drive to work and I'll see, right, can I get through the core 4? I'll just go 4 19 76, 4 18 72, 4 17 68. Okay, I'll just go through them all. Okay, 9 18s 162, 9 19s 171, 9 17s 153. So just picture them. Again, picture, very important. So when you're saying like 4 19s, single 19, and a treble 19 and a single 19, 4 19s. Okay, when you go, obviously we know what 9 19s are, or 9 18s is the 3 in the treble, isn't it? Okay, so just picture these things. If you struggle on a few of them, say you're struggling on 7 of the number and 8 of the number, just write them down and picture them. Okay, and then I go through my scores. I do let's just clear all this. I start from, try and clear it. I do the treble 20 and treble 19, which is 117, and I do the treble 20 and treble 18, which is 114, and the treble 20 and the treble 17 is 111. And then, of course, we've got I'm kind of trying to do these in the order that I taught them. And then we've got treble 19, treble 18, which is also 111, and then treble 19, treble 17, which is 108, and then treble 18 and treble 17, which is 105. I've done these in the previous videos, so please go watch it. I don't expect you to learn it from this, but that's how I do it. I picture them and I say the number out loud, and then the ones I've taught you today, it's the same way I've taught you. I just picture those numbers and I go through it, and you can do it. You can get through these scores in seconds, and then do them all the time, and then they kind of add to your comfort zone, where we know these 20 finishes often. We can start to know these guaranteed. All right, I think next time we're going to talk about ways to visualize. For instance, if you did see 4 19s, a single 19 and a treble 19, a single 19, I keep saying that, and then you have a treble 18, how to add 70, how to add 54, which is what treble 18 is, onto your 76, how to visualize that really quickly. Some people it would be really easy to do. Some people are really gonna struggle. Okay, but that's 130. You need to just be picturing it, and you can do it. Anyway, we'll get into that properly next video. But that is the video, guys and gals. So thanks again for watching. I hope you're doing your homework. If you're struggling with anything, please drop me a message. Coming next time, we will get into some dart top trumps. I've got ideas for that, and some more marking and scoring. Take care for now.